Hi guys, I'm Chris Norwood on a journey to hear every song ever recorded. That's what the channel is all about, and today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new 2021 Foo Fighters record. Now that's something that I found interesting. I know there's been a lot of delays this year, but this packaging says 2020. The copyrights, the little, the anti-piracy stuff down here all says 2020 on it, despite it just coming out yesterday, February 5th, 2021. I did an unboxing video which you guys will be able to check out pretty soon. I can give you a little bit of a taste there. Pretty good deal. I actually found this at Walmart. I was blown away. This is the first album that I've been able to just pick up at Walmart while I was doing my grocery shopping in a very, very, very long time. It's not edited because Dave Grohl and company really don't have any bad words in here, except for maybe the occasional heck. The Foo Fighters are a phoenix that rose from the ashes of Nirvana. If you don't know, if you're not familiar, you probably do. If you've been living under a rock for the last 26, 27 years, let me know. Maybe I'll make a video explaining who Nirvana and the Foo Fighters are. That could be fun. Maybe I'll do that anyway. Here's one thing that you may not know about the Foo Fighters, and we'll get into the review. They made their live public debut on February 23rd, 1995 at the Jambalaya Club in Arcata, California. I'm definitely butchering that city name. I do not care. It was an interesting factoid. Okay, this is my early morning review of Foo Fighters, Medicine at Midnight. I have been having to get up extraordinarily early for my new shift at work. And yeah, on my days off it's a little bit rough, but I'm waking up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and still adjusting to that. Let's get into the review. This is a very compact album. We got 9 songs, which I appreciate when they have the numbers here. Makes that a lot easier. You guys don't have to watch me going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I just did it to you guys again. I picked this up at Walmart for $11.88. I was a little bit worried. It felt kind of thin. I was like, man, I could just stream it because there's going to be nothing inside. There is a booklet in here. All the lyrics are in here. The credits are in here. And that's what you're paying for, right? And I want the Foo Fighters to become richer than they already are because I appreciate what they're doing. Maybe I could hold this up. Do you guys want to see my face or the album? Anyway. Maybe like this. Like this. Okay. So, the album starts off with Making a Fire. And it's a little bit of a standard Foo Fighters fare kind of track. But there's this guitar tone that you immediately don't recognize. It's something new. It's a sort of a jangly thing, and it's a big part of the DNA of this record. It's a good way to test the waters while staying true to the Foo Fighters format. And while it's not the most powerful Foo Fighters tune, it allowed me to make up my mind pretty quickly that this, how I felt about the album. I was going to spoil my review, but I'm going to leave you guys hanging for a little bit. Making a Fire just kind of told me right off the bat what we're listening to here and whether it was going to be good or bad. Okay, let's move on to the next track, which is Shame, Shame. It's a shame that I just coughed in the middle. I'm not refilming this for a cough. Cough, cough. Shame, Shame. I was dreading giving this one another listen. I'd given it a reaction video before, if you guys want to check that out. And it was okay. You know, it was all right. It was okay. I didn't hate it like everyone else did. I know you guys just hated it with a passion, or most of you. And it did seem very basic and repetitive. Here's the great part. The contrast between making a fire and this song really makes this one better. And which leads me to the fact that while I'm listening to this, just 2 songs in. So the first song allowed me to make up my mind about the entire record. And I'm not judging it on the cover, I'm judging it on the one song. Which I love this cover though. Kind of matches me, matches my candles back there. Anyway, Shame Shame brings me to the idea, the contrast between making a fire and Shame Shame. They kind of play off each other and make one another better. This is a cohesive album meant to be taken as a whole, and that's a positive. It just, there's kind of this bounce back and forth between the track listing, and it's not just in the songs where it's loud, quiet, but it's sort of over the overall arc of each song, and you you're taking a lot away in just the first 2 tracks. Like the first song, say, okay, this is a certain kind of record. The second song tells you, okay, maybe this is a concept record. I think I'm onto something there. But I'm actually liking Shame Shame way more than when I first heard it, when I first reacted to it. Let's keep on rocking and rolling, shall we? Classic rock guitars, Dead Rock Forever, make their appearance on Cloud Spotter, which sounds like a track from Concrete and Gold if it were made in the hair metal era of the 1980s. It got me bobbing my head big time. Have the Foo Fighters really made a dance record here with Medicine at Midnight? I find it highly danceable just on this 3rd track. Also, why are rock bands all giving dance records a go? It seems like, Green Day kind of started this with Father of All, and I guess because Father of All was such a huge beloved album, I guess everybody's trying it these days. Viagra Boys kind of doing a little bit of that, Foo Fighters doing it here, and there's more examples that my music nerdiness cannot detect at the moment, but I know there's been a lot in 2020 and 2021 already. Let's just move on to Waiting on a War, which is going to be the 4th track off of Medicine at Midnight. I fell in love with Waiting on a War on first listen. I believe I've got a reaction video for that too. With its acoustic guitars, violins, and simple drum beat, Dave Grohl keeps an excellent vocal performance that sounds more like a deep cut than a single, and I absolutely love it. There is more to this than that. Next up on the very brief, very short track list, but still with some beef, even though we've only got 9 songs, they're longer tracks, and they don't feel long. The title track begins with cowbells, and for some reason, I can't stop thinking about the Red Hot Chili Peppers while listening to this record. Can't stop the spirit with the need to. This life is more than just a read through. This one has Dave whispering into our collective ear, and this one is funky. This one actually sounds like, this is really interesting. Foo Fighters are actually sounding like the virtual band Gorillaz on this track, and that is not something I expected coming from the Foo Fighters, or Foo Fighters, if you will, or Foo. All my favorite bands from the 90s have now been around 30 years, give or take, and this is a strange time in this new decade. Many bands are trying to push the boundaries of what it means to be a rock band, and it's a good thing. I feel like new life is seeping into the rock scene, or is the rock scene seeping out of the rock genre as a whole? It's time to trudge onward, rock. Anyway, the vocals on the title track kind of go from 2D of Gorillaz to shredded Dave Grohlisms in the same line, and I adore this one. I'm going to say that this is the band's best title track. Of course, there's really no competition in title tracks from Foo Fighters. Next one up is one of the three teasers that we got. Was it three? Yeah, we got Shame Shame, Waiting on a War, and No Son of Mine, which are kind of scattered throughout the track list. And I feel like that's a good way to do it instead of just spoiling. I didn't want to listen to any more singles when I heard that there was only 9 tracks, but I gave in and I listened to all 3 of them, reacted to all 3 of them. No Son of Mine is hard-rocking and haunting with its vocal melodies, a driving rhythm that jumps in its Volkswagen Jetta and drives 80 miles an hour around the mountains of South Carolina. That's how I heard it anyway, a green Volkswagen Jetta. This is the hardest the record goes so far in terms of sonic exploration on the sonic highways, and it's a lot of fun. And you can still dance if you want to. You can dance if you want to. It's the heaviest, catchy song. It's emotional, and it's very, very powerful. No Son of Mine. Giving it the South Carolina thumbs up. Oh, man. There is a tiny shift in quality on Holding Poison, which is currently my least favorite track of the album, coming in at the 7th track position. It's the most generic rock sounding outing on this Foo LP. The bass overtakes this track, and I'm not digging it. Not on first and second listen anyway. Kind of hard to dance to. For fans other than me, however, it does kind of sound like a throwback to early 90s Foo Fighters, such as Color and the Shape, with the shrieking guitars, but with shrieking guitars and gospel vocal backings. It does get a little better as it goes around, but the most skippable piece of this Foo Fighters puzzle. Things slow down on Chasing Birds, the penultimate track. And I actually love slow songs. There are some lyrical cliches over an Everlong acoustic track that's well produced. Giggity. It makes it feel as you are playing the song yourself. You become Dave Grohl or whoever's playing guitar on this acoustic piece. It's both great and terrifying at the same time. Was that his good intention? He's chasing birds to get high. His heart is buried in cliches, cliches, cliches. Kind of hinder the lyrics a bit. But it makes my head nod, and it's fun to listen to. You know what? The Foo Fighters don't really do slow singles anymore. Have you guys noticed that? Everlong, and then everything else has been kind of, middle of the road for their singles releases, which is fine. I do realize that Foo Fighters are kind of a singles band that happen to make great albums around them. But yeah, maybe it's time for a big Foo Fighters ballad. Anyway, what do we got here? Chasing Birds is a fun little acoustic slow burn. But yeah, they haven't really had a slow single in 23 years, if you think about it. Cool. A weaker track, but still not ear-offending nonsense. Again, Holding Poison at track number 7 is going to be the worst that we've come across so far. Possibly at all. Love Dies Young. Love Dies Young is the last track on the album. And whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Why is my, there, whoa. That was not as dramatic as I would have liked. I'll do a dramatic pause. Immediately, Love Dies Young grabs me with the kind of rock music I love to hear. It's an epic closer in the vein of, dare I say, Walk. It feels like Chasing Birds and Love Dies Young are the same continuing story, which again reminds me of how this album flows better than any Foo Fighters record that we've had so far. I really think that this is a concept record about maybe living in a broken world and failing at relationships, but somehow coming out on the other side a better person. Something along those lines. I need to deep dive into this great lyric booklet that's in here and see exactly what it is. I know that Love Dies Young is definitely, if you read the lyrics, it maybe kind of doesn't have such a happy ending that I kind of made up right there on the spot. Kind of a dramatic and really downtrodden ending, which I love that. I love that as well. I'm a big fan of sad endings. That's how everything should end. Whew. Overall, okay, this is going to be my wrap up and wrap up and rating of the album. Overall, the album is a nice blend of classic Foo Fighters rock with a healthy dose of orchestral flourishes and eerie female backing vocals with family members from Dave Grohl. The songs bounce between their trademark sound, albeit with some new guitar tones that I'm really enjoying. They're the best jangly guitars that I've heard so far. And you know, Foo Fighters have 3 guitarists, so they're doing some really cool stuff with that. And it's like dancing through the apocalypse. That's kind of the spirit of this thing. Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting. Despite a few tracks I'm not grooving with just yet, like Holding Poison and Chasing Birds, track 7 and 8. And they're not bad. They're just kind of, they seem like filler in such a short album. Which is, you know, with 9 songs, you definitely don't need any filler in there. We get 9 fully fleshed out songs, and they're really well made, well produced, and yeah, they're not filler. So you know, there's a couple tracks I'm not jiving with, but they're not filler. They're kind of, you know, okay. So they're fully fleshed out, they're well made, well produced, and well executed. So even the bad songs are not bad. Sorry if I misspoke there. I had fun. I had a lot of fun listening to this record. And you know, with only 1 or 2 weaker moments out of the 9 tracks. They're longer songs and they don't feel very long. It's a very strong 10th record from the Foo Fighters, who have been around 26, 27 years now. And it's time for my ranking of this album. Chris Norwood, on a journey to hear every song ever recorded, and giving the Foo Fighters' 10th record, Medicine at Midnight, a very strong 4 Phoenix Birds out of 5 Phoenix Birds. Again, Medicine at Midnight gets a strong 4 out of 5 from moi. Thank you, and I can't wait to bring you more Foo Fighters news. Hopefully we'll get some more singles off of this. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell on your way out, and keep on listening to Foo Fighters. Yeah. Nom, 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 nom. Ah, what the heck? You guys want an unboxing video too? I'll give it to you. I give it away for free. I've already unwrapped it, but heck, I got that too. I don't have the Walmart bag, but I got that. Front, the back. Oh! Only irritating part is when you try to get the booklet out, the booklet and the CD gets stuck in there, and it's really aggravating. I'm going to end up destroying this. Look at that. The CD is stuck in the middle. Ah, physical media. So I gotta get the CD. Ah! Okay, that's okay. Again, it says 2020 on here. I'm assuming that it was pressed before it was delayed, which is kind of an unusual situation. Oh yeah, the booklet. I love that artwork. What is that? Is that an eyeball? Is that an eyeball? The lyrics, very easy to read. White type over a black background. A little bit of artwork in the background, so a little bit of little tiny bit of effort put in there. Got the credits, you know, the writing credits and all that stuff. Again, a little bit of an issue with the booklet falling into the CD thing. There's artwork inside there, which, you know, kind of impossible to see. Whoa. Okay, so I think it's just, yeah, I think on the inside of this is just duplicate images of this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to store the CD just outside of this because otherwise the booklet and the CD get all caught up and lost. But yeah, 4 out of 5. It's one of their better albums. If you guys have been around the channel for a little bit, you'll know with Foo Fighters, they're one of my favorite bands. However, I'm not a fan of their 90s output, which, you know, that's when I fell in love with them. But I absolutely did not enjoy their first 3 albums at all. And it wasn't until 2005 that I started to feel that everything they put out, like from In Your Honor through Concrete and Gold and now this one, all that stuff is pretty darn good. Pretty darn 4 out of 5, sometimes 5 out of 5. I don't know what it is about those early Foo Fighters records. I can't get into them. The self-titled, the Color and the Shape, all those, There Is Nothing Left to Lose. I can't stand those records. They have like the 1 or 2 singles on them that are great, and then the rest I can't listen to. And I hear praise for those, and I'm a huge music nerd. I just don't hear it. Maybe I need to revisit them now, but I've listened to the entire catalog of Foo Fighters, and I don't hear it on those first 3 records. I don't hear anything that I'm enjoying, really. Even the singles are just meh. So, anyway, 2021/2020, whatever the actual release date for this is or was. It came out yesterday, according to me. So, pretty darn good album. Is it worth buying the physical copy? It does have a booklet in there with all the lyrics. So I'm going to say, yeah, it was worth the 12 bucks that I spent when I was buying groceries at Walmart. I'm going to say, yeah, it is definitely a worthy addition to my collection. Thank you, and I will see you guys on the next rock and roll video.